Alright guys, so we've been learning about the 5 themes of geography, and we just did theme number 1, which is human environmental interaction. Now we're going to be doing theme number 2, which is location. So please in your notebooks write this down. Location, theme number 2, is where a place is found on the Earth's surface. So this is kind of one of those duh definitions. Yeah, where is it located? It's located here. So it's where a place is found on the Earth's surface. But we as geographers are interested in the different ways that you can explain location. And there are 2 specific types of location that we study. So you're going to need to know the definition of both of these, as well as be able to give examples. The first type of location is called relative location. So please write this down, including the examples. Relative location is probably the most commonly used form of location. Relative location describes where something is by using another familiar feature as a reference point. So for instance, if you're having a friend come over and they want to know where your house is, you might explain it as, I live by the park. Or if your mom asks, where's the store that you're going to, you're going to say, the store is 2 blocks away. Or, I live by the school. So you don't explain something using like a street address. Instead, you explain something in terms of where it is in relation to something else. So for instance, PAS is located by Petropolis. You can say your house is located by the lake. So you're using something else as a reference to explain the location of something else. Now, this is probably the most common way that you describe location. However, we geographers tend to use a different type of location, and that's called absolute location. So if you need some more time to write this down, please pause the video. Otherwise, let's look at the definition of absolute location. Absolute location, like I said, is what geographers tend to use more. Absolute location describes a precise point on Earth using mapped coordinates. So generally, we're going to always have a number associated with absolute location. For example, your house has a street address. So for instance, my house is 1234 South Main Street. That is something specific in terms of a set of numbers or coordinates where we can locate your house on a map. More likely, in terms of big picture geography, when we're studying the places of the world, we're going to use actually something called latitude and longitude. We're going to be talking about this in the next class. Latitude and longitude of location tells us anywhere on the planet exactly where something is. And we use these lines that go north and south. And these are called lines of longitude. We're going to talk about those in class. And then these lines that go east and west, and these are called lines of latitude. And when we put these 2 together, it gives us 2 numbers. Like for instance, here would be exactly on the equator, which is 0 degrees latitude and 45 degrees north longitude. So this tells us exactly where something is on the planet. So we're going to learn how to read these numbers in the next class period. But for right now, you just need to know the difference between relative location and absolute location. So again, remember, relative location is when we describe something by using another familiar feature. So I live by the park. Where geographers tend to focus more on absolute location, where we're using exact or precise numbers in order to locate something on a map. And usually these would be a street address or lines of latitude and longitude. Alright, so once you have these 3 definitions written in your notebook, location, relative location, and absolute location, then you're done with your homework for today. Remember, if you need to, you can rewind this or pause it at any time.